Hello and welcome to Haircut and the Beard. My name is Vader, aka Haircut, and I'm joined by my co-host, Rob the Beard Brown.
What's going on?
Your beard needs a bit of a trim.
Thanks, mate.
No worries. We've got a special guest joining us today. You might remember her from episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is her 5th time appearing on the show. The girl.
Stayin Alive, number 5.
When did she get a guest host position or something like that?
We'll figure it out.
I've applied numerous times.
Application rejected.
If this is your first time listening to the show, we like to talk about movies, TV shows, fun and pop culture related.
Yep.
We like to start off with some news, then discuss a movie, and then we'll wrap it up with some fun stuff at the end. Rob?
Today we'll be talking about Chappie, Neill Blomkamp's remake of the 1987 film Short Circuit.
Dude, that's... What are you talking... It's not a remake.
I'm pretty sure it is.
No, Chappie, it's an original film.
Oh, okay. Well, today we'll be talking about the new film by Neill Blomkamp called Chappie.
Brilliant.
Let's go to some news.
First bit of news here.
Yep.
Walking Dead spin-off will be called Fear the Walking Dead. What do you think of the title, first of all?
Yeah, I mean, I do fear The Walking Dead, I guess.
I've always hoped for this. It's going to focus on a completely new set of characters from the start of the zombie outbreak. Because we didn't see that much in
Yeah. It's sort of cut to, I don't know, what was it, 3 months later or at least a month or so later.
Yeah, we know that he came out of the hospital, that's it.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of seeing those opening hours because they're often really, really fun when there's people that are still going about their day-to-day business while there's fucking zombies running down the street trying to kill children and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's kind of cool.
It's always the most enjoyable part of a zombie movie.
Yeah. To be honest, I like Walking Dead. It has its ups and downs. Like some whole seasons I haven't really enjoyed. But I do still want to see more from that universe. So I'm okay with that.
M. Night Shyamalan has a new movie.
I just want to call out, well done for getting that right off the bat.
I thought it was different.
Oh, okay, maybe you
M.
didn't
Night
get it right.
Shyamalan?
Is it?
Yep.
Shyamalan.
Shut up, you mullen.
You said a quick prayer in another language.
Shyamalan. What's it called?
M. Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalan. Okay, he's got a new movie.
Shyamalan a ding dong.
Brilliant.
It's called The Visit, and a teaser trailer was released.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking The Sixth Sense was such an amazing film, but
Have you seen Haley Joel Osment lately?
He looks like a potato.
It does, like a potato that's been rolled in the dirt. It's so disturbing.
How many failures is a filmmaker allowed to have? There was The Last Airbender, After Earth. There was a variety of really poor ones.
He's done a lot of really bad films.
Lady in the Water.
Yeah.
Oh, that was one of the worst films I think I've ever seen.
Shocker.
How many chances do we give him?
Okay, so my theory is when you make a film as good as that, you're always going to get me to at least buy in and watch a trailer or possibly watch the film, right?
Yeah.
But he has got to the point now where he hasn't made anything good in, 6 films?
Yeah.
So I don't know. But he's been away for a long time, so maybe this will be his thing.
Hopefully.
My whole theory with this guy is he's an amazing director, but he just can't write for shit. He got lucky once. Someone give this guy a script and let him shoot it. I think that would be amazing because cinematography, great. The way he actually builds tension is really good. And the way he reveals the guaranteed twist in every fucking film he's ever done, usually pretty good. It's just that no one cares what he's got to say anymore.
Yeah. Twist in The Lady in the Water. The lady wasn't in the water. As we expected, House of Cards, it hasn't been officially said that it's going to have a 4th season, but it's been pretty much said. Yeah. 2016, there was a tweet that went out, like Frank Underwood 2016 or some shit. I
thought it was kind of alone with not being overly impressed with the 3rd season. I thought that was kind of just me, but I think the further we get away from it actually being released, the more I'm hearing other people saying that they didn't enjoy it either.
That's because they've actually seen it all now.
Yeah, that could be. Considering I smashed the whole thing out in 2 days, like I was the first one to have the opinion.
Fight Club, obviously one of the best movies ever.
Ah, yes.
But he's the guy who made it.
Chuck Palahniuk.
Chuck Palahniuk, the writer of the original book. He said that there's going to be a sequel and it's going to be in the format of a graphic novel.
Yeah. So that is literally probably my favourite film of all time, Fight Club. It's like one of my favourite directors with one of my favourite actors shooting a film by one of my favourite authors of all time. It is the perfect storm of Robbie fandom.
The trifecta.
Yeah, the trifecta, you could say.
I did say.
Yeah. Thanks. So for me, it's close to the perfect film. That said, I read everything Chuck did for a very, very long time, and in my opinion, sadly, he's kind of trailed off a little bit, which is really, really sad, because some of the stuff he did was amazing. Like, he was one of the best authors. I am a little bit concerned.
We'll just have to wait and see what it turns out to be, man.
Yeah. I'm a little bit concerned. I did read the first 3 pages, and it was kind of cool. Marla and the lead character, the narrator, who now has a name, living happily ever after in suburbia. You know, he's like a pharmaceutical rep or something like that. And they make a joke about he's on medication which suppresses, you know, his other side from coming out. And Marla just continuously stops giving him his medication so she can have a bit of fun with the other character, so to speak.
You mean amazing sex?
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, exactly what I mean. I think that's kind of cool.
Here's some funny news. Obviously, we know Terminator Genesis, the new one, is coming out.
Pronounce it right. Genesis.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, very sorry. I've got a repeated thing here where I mispronounce things.
Genesis.
Yes, that's better. Yep. But Schwarzenegger.
Speaking of pronouncing things.
Trailer for the new Bond film, Spectre. You seen it?
Yeah.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'll watch all the Bond films.
How many do you reckon Daniel Craig's going to do from here?
I reckon he's got one more in him, and then he's done.
I reckon two more. I reckon they'll do one more, and then they'll announce that it'll be his last one. So I reckon 2 more.
Yeah, fair call. I mean, I've heard that they're already in talks with people to try to find a new one.
Oh, really?
And
maybe this could be the last one. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, like, we're obviously not part of the industry.
Place your bets.
Well, there you go. We'll do. How about we do a bet? I'll bet you $5 that this is his last one.
Okay.
And you'll bet me $100 that he's got 2 more.
I'll bet you that the podcast won't still be going when Daniel Craig doesn't do a film that's Bond. You're on.
You're on. Fucking done.
He says, knowing this is the final episode.
Yeah. I heard that they were trying to get I probably should look this up first, but who's the black guy?
There's no black Bond, dude. Next bit of news. This one's exciting for me. The X-Files is returning for 6 new episodes and will be led by creator Chris Carter.
Yeah.
And David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson will reprise their roles.
Yeah.
The truth is still out there.
Apparently. Mm-hmm. I'm excited. So do you think it's going to be similar to the old school where it's like Monster of the Week and, you know...
I hope so, man, because shows fail when they get too caught up in the characters.
Yeah,
Just obviously how the characters react, but it's just like any Law and Order show. They've gone on for fucking 50,000 seasons because each one's a different one. They don't get too tight. Every now and then they'll do a little tie-up with the character has an extra stressor in his life or whatever, but the majority of the time it's always just the semen that's found at the crime scene.
And they're very self-contained episodes, that's why it makes so many of them.
Exactly. I think the X-Files has a lot of fucking baggage. Like, I haven't seen all of it. I've seen all of the show, but then there's been a couple of movies and all that kind of stuff. I'm missing some of that. But there's a lot of fucking baggage. Are they going to wrap all that up? Are they going to make more baggage? I don't know.
And never wrap it up.
Yeah. So in video game news, I've just got a couple of things that I wanted to talk about that I think are kind of interesting. So Nintendo has finally agreed, after the CEO stating emphatically that he will never do it, they are going to make mobile games.
Yay!
Yeah, that's really cool. Like, that's a really good thing. And I mean, it will make them a lot of money, even though Nintendo is one of the richest companies in the fucking world. And they can afford to never do this if they don't want to. They're going to actually... We will see Mario, Donkey Kong, we'll see, all that kind of stuff.
It's a whole different genre, isn't it? Because you've got video games that cater to game nuts like you.
Yeah.
And then you've got kind of the simpler and, like, almost more light-hearted games of the mobile. And you've kind of got crossovers, of course.
Yeah.
You've got some serious games on mobile, but the majority of the popular mobile games, they're simple. They're puzzle games.
Exactly. And you know what? I think Nintendo lends itself perfectly to this kind of genre.
Exactly.
You know? I mean, to this space. You know?
It really does, yeah.
I'm hoping that we're not going to see the Mario Endless Runner, or something like that. That'd just drive me fucking insane. But I think that they are notorious for treating their own IPs with respect. They don't fuck around with their own characters. So I think they'll take this seriously.
Good.
Yeah. I just thought this was kind of funny. So someone ran a bit of a test, and in GTA there's 3 characters. Grand Theft Auto there's 3 characters. 2 of them white, 1 of them black. They found that if you're just driving down the street as a black guy, you're more likely to be pulled over by the police than if you're driving down the street as a white guy.
So accurate.
And apparently the creators, the Hauser brothers or whatever they're called, of GTA have basically said, nope, there's no code in there that says that this should happen, but statistically it still does. So somewhere there is a ghost in the machine that is racist, basically.
So even the video game characters are prejudiced.
Exactly. I just think that's fucking hilarious.
Attention to detail is so high in that game. I saw this one clip of like where a cop's windscreen has been broken out, right? And the cop is sitting in the front seat with a flashlight on the road, like as he's driving along.
That's so cool. Yeah, it's a brilliant game. Last little thing, there's a game coming out called No Man's Sky.
Right.
It's basically just an exploration game. You fly around different planets, you land, you do stuff. No one knows what you do on these planets yet, but you do stuff on the planets. They've created an engine that builds these planets. Take a guess how many there is.
10.
There's a lot of planets. To put it in perspective, I can't even say the number. 5 billion years it would take you if you were to visit every planet for 1 second.
What's the fucking point then?
Isn't that just
how are you ever going to complete this game?
You never do. It's not that kind of game. It's the kind of game where you just explore, you know.
Dude, no.
It's just unacceptable.
That's outrageous.
But isn't it kind of cool? Like, obviously someone hasn't sat there and hand-painted all these planets or hand-created them all.
They just like put an algorithm in the machine
exactly.
and the machine just generated this whole planet.
Exactly. And it generates all these machines. They've actually got
There's going to be a lot of repeats though. Like,
well, no, they've actually, part of this algorithm stops the repeats, and you'll find some things that'll be on maybe 5 planets that you won't find anywhere else, you know? So the point of the story is it's like our universe. You can travel for ages, you'll find one planet that's got a big fucking T-Rex on it. You might never see that again, you know?
Dude, that's the best. I would love to explore that world.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, and everyone's sort of exploring the same universe. So, you know, like you can get to a planet first and name it. So there'll be planet beard. And obviously, there won't be a planet haircut. Just accept that. Anyway, so that's it for video game news.
I said I was just going to like attach myself to your ship and just be like just flying through space.
So to be Planet Beard featuring haircut.
You're going to be like, oh, I got to this planet first, and I'll just be around the ship. Hey man, how the fuck did you get? I've been here for 10 minutes. No!
Brilliant.
And you'll never be able to name it.
Brilliant. Love everything about it. So that's it in video game news.
Cool. This week, we are talking about Chappie. Mm-hmm. It's a film about a robot that's created with primitive and juvenile artificial intelligence that learns like a child would, but at an accelerated level.
And it's not a remake of Short Circuit.
No, it's not. The movie stars Dev Patel as an engineer of the robot and Hugh Jackman as a kind of mean rival engineer.
Yeah.
Film also controversially stars Die Antwoord, which is the rap duo. Die Antwoord.
Don't call it rap.
It's
Don't call what they do rap.
Afrikaans for the answer.
Okay.
It's their first and probably last film.
Yeah, let's face it.
Oh god, I hope so.
Yeah.
The film is written, of course, by Neill Blomkamp and Terry Tatchell.
Okay, yeah.
They both did District 9 as well, and it's directed by Blomkamp. Cost 49 mil, just fun fact, cost 49 mil to make.
Well, get a refund.
We'll get into that in a moment. But 49 mil to make and 77 mil box office in US it has taken in. Okay. But I think a lot of that taking would have been the product placement because there was ample of that.
Okay, yeah, without a doubt, there was a lot of product placement. It was obviously produced, I don't know if that's the right word, but produced by Sony, and there was a bunch of PlayStations.
Yeah,
PlayStation played a pivotal part in the story.
And that laptop that they couldn't put down.
Yeah.
So there was, I mean, it's a Sony movie, obviously. So there was Vaio laptops, there was PS4s. Also, Vodacom made many appearances as the tower where they went to as a set. There was Red Bull, of course, and it was full of Die Antwoord branding and songs and logos and T-shirts, and they just
pretty much every song.
Faces.
Yeah, pretty much every song used was theirs. If I remember rightly, like the overall score, obviously not, but whenever there was like a song. I don't actually know them as a group, but the person I was with is like, oh, that's them, that's them.
So like, self-indulgent. There was one bit where they were hanging out and they had their song playing in the background.
Oh, no. Yeah, so bad. So bad.
That said, I think the bad acting aside and the product placement aside, it was enjoyable for me. I thoroughly enjoyed the film. And I felt like, I felt for Chappie, basically.
Yeah,
it's hard not to feel for Chappie.
Yeah. Chappie was really, really well played by the Sharlto Copley, is the guy's name, who He's been in all three of the big films. He's the main character from District 9. He was the uber badass from Halo.
Yeah. Elysium.
Yep. And he's obviously Chappie in this. So obviously they're close friends. He's an amazing actor. Like, especially if you look at him in District 9, his journey as a character, fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So, alright, my whole thing with this film was, it was enjoyable. There was a couple of moments where I'm like, yeah, go Chappie. And Chappie as a character, I felt was just adorable. Like, it was hard not to like him.
Yeah.
However, this movie scared me. Really, really scared me.
Why?
Because I love District 9. I think that's one of the most original films that's come out probably in 10 years. I think it's brilliant. And I thought that this was like this new director on the block that's doing all these amazing things. And his follow-up film, it was okay. It was pretty good. And this, I think he's just getting worse and worse. You know, so
do you reckon
just fluke it?
Is he the next Shyamalan?
Yeah, that's it. And that scares the shit out of me because I was so looking forward to seeing what this guy does with his career. And now he's just kind of nosediving a little bit, and that scares me. That said, I mean, this film was enjoyable and it had its moments, but overall it just kind of, it worried me.
It felt like it was a bit more of a pet project of his.
Yeah.
Because apparently it is based on an earlier film.
Short Circuit,
No, it is based on a shorter film that he did earlier called Tetraval, which you'll know is actually the name of...
Yes.
It's the name of the weapons company, Tetraval.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
So the short film...
on all the vans.
Yeah.
The short film that he made was called Tetraval, 2 words, but in this, of course, it was 1 word. But
shit.
it is... he actually said in an interview that it's basically a remake of that.
Ah, okay, that's kind of interesting.
An extension
Yeah.
of it.
I have to say the animation of actual Chappie was ridiculously good.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely phenomenal.
I like that.
Like, I was with someone that isn't as technically inclined as myself, and I'm actually, like, in the first scene when he's kind of shying away and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, man, this animation's fucking amazing. And they're like, is that not a real robot? I'm like, no, it's not a real robot. Like, obviously.
I kept thinking that. I'm like, why? How do they get a puppeteer in such a thin waist?
Yeah. So they obviously had Sharlto Copley in a fucking one of those suits with all the tennis balls
dots.
all over it and all, the little dots, the mocap suit.
Yeah.
And he was obviously acting out all of those parts, but it was really cool. For me, I think one of the things that really concerned me about this was Blomkamp's always had a really political message. And there was a couple of moments when he tried to sort of shoehorn a bit of that in there, and the whole militarization of the police force and all that kind of stuff, but he didn't really commit to that enough for it to have any impact.
Yeah.
You know, like he was just like, oh, and there's bad stuff going on over here, but look how cute Chappie is. Oh. And that just, I don't know, it was really contrasting, I suppose.
Yeah.
Contradictory, contrasting.
It didn't flow well.
Yeah, exactly. And his previous films had a lot more edge.
Yeah.
I felt the edge that they had in this were fucking pink Uzis and yellow machine guns.
That's pretty cool.
No, it's not. It's emphatically not cool at all. Like, that didn't do it for me at all.
Yeah, and the least cool thing is strutting along being like, look how cool I am.
Yeah.
This is how you be cool.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah, there was some definite cheesy moments in there, but I think, it's hard enough to make an original film these days.
Yeah.
It's even harder to do it, I think, in the sci-fi genre, and he did very well, in my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough. And look, I mean, I respect that you obviously enjoyed it a little bit more than I did. And there was moments when I'm like, oh, fuck, that looks awesome and all that kind of stuff. I think the initial fight scene was probably one of my favourites.
Yeah.
The initial shootout where, they're showing up on helicopters and fucking shooting through walls and all that kind of stuff. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But overall, this just didn't really do it for me.
Yeah, I felt like there was lots of good action scenes and they were just trying to shove some dialogue between them. Like, they had... The action scenes were the good stuff. And
Yeah.
like, oh shit, we got to fill these other spots. And it just felt really rushed and... I just, felt...
The best bit about this movie definitely isn't the story. I'll admit that. It's a lot of the other components are better. But I still definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, fair enough. I did like the guy and the girl from that band grew on me a little bit towards the end.
Same here, yeah.
And I felt conflicted at the end when one of them, I don't know, something bad happens, and I'd hated them up until this point, and then I actually felt kind of bad for him. I'm like, okay, maybe you got me a little bit.
Yeah.
I got pumped.
It's because they start to feel for Chappie, and because we're all feeling for him, and then they start to care about him too.
Yeah.
That's when we're like, oh, well, then maybe they're okay.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I do want to say, as an Australian, I did find the whole Hugh Jackman, they just told him, be as Aussie as fuck. And he just ran with it. I thought that was kind of brilliant.
Yeah, all right. Here's my mullet, my short khakis.
Yeah. And he actually used the term, which, I mean, I'm not sure if we've got any non-Australian listeners, but he actually used the term angry as a frog in a sock.
No way, I missed that.
He actually did use that at some point. We don't say that for the record, but that said, it is a phrase that I'm familiar with from Australia, so maybe...
Yeah, from Australia about 50 years ago.
Yeah, no shit. But I do want to say as well, I worked with the haircut, and we used to play a game called the Jerk Game, which was basically just walk past someone's desk and just slap them in the head, or push a bunch of shit off their desk.
It's just an excuse to be a dick.
Yeah, and you just yell jerk game. I got to say, Hugh Jackman in this, he's the king of the jerk game, because he pulls out in an office, pulls a gun out, sticks it to someone's fucking head, threatens them for a solid 2 minutes straight, and then just says, "Nah, man, I'm just joking, just messing around, mate, just messing around."
Hell. Jerk game,
jerk game. And I was just thinking, I'm like, mate, if he was playing jerk game with us, he would have won. Brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I mean, I thought it was okay. It wasn't amazing. I think my expectations of it coming from that director just made me think it was gonna. I was just praying for a fucking home run, and I just didn't get it.
I'm not a huge fan of sci-fi, and I feel like all robot movies are just symbolic of the human struggle. So for me, I enjoyed the action. I really thought the animation, or however you would call that, of Chappie was great. It was really lifelike. But overall, I wasn't a huge fan of it.
I'm really keen to see what he does with Alien. I'm not sure if that's his next film directly, but I know he's definitely
working on it. It's an unknown project at this point, but
So hopefully he does something really cool with that. But this just it wasn't a home run for me.
For me, overall, I think that anyone that enjoyed District 9 or Elysium, they're definitely going to enjoy this film at least. Yeah,
you're not going to hate it, but
cool.
I don't think you're going to love it.
Yeah.
You may not be a happy Chappie.
Oh.
Hey-oh. All right, so as you guys know, I'm a bit of an avid screenwriter.
Screenwriter?
Yes. And when I'm not writing screenplays, I like to create pitches for you guys and let you into the industry a little bit.
Because let's face it, we are the gateway to the industry. If you can impress us, you're gold, basically.
You're in.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got a bit of a different one this time. You know how they've got those found footage films?
But let's face it, different from bad doesn't always equal good.
It can mean worse.
Guys, come on.
All right.
You know those found footage films, Blair Witch Project and things like that?
Yep.
I'm thinking I could pitch one.
Okay.
It's about a documentary maker that goes for a hike into the woods.
Yep.
And he comes across Bigfoot.
Okay.
Bigfoot, he just chats to him. It's like an interview with Bigfoot.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like a little bro hang.
Yeah, like a bro hang, like an interview.
Okay.
And, Bigfoot just chats about the struggles, surviving in the woods and that.
But also, he's like, oh, you know what they say about people with big feet.
He probably would make that joke. It's like,
that's brilliant.
Oh, I'm going to put that one in there. Thanks.
So, what kind of guy is Bigfoot?
But one other thing that Bigfoot reveals is that he puts a lot of effort into making sure that he's not found out, but also that he makes sure that there's enough little clues to keep it as a myth, not as a fact.
Yeah. So he wants to be seen.
Interview.
That's a poor move on his behalf.
That's what I thought. You could have this film be a found footage because at the end he's got to kill the documentary maker. He has to. Yeah,
Why does he have to?
Because he doesn't want the documentary getting out.
But then how are we seeing it?
It gets out.
It's found.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's his will, but someone finds the tape. It's Bigfoot. He doesn't know how cameras work.
Oh my god! There's so many problems with this story, but I kind of love it.
It's actually not bad. Like, I'd like to know what Bigfoot's like.
Yeah.
Green light.
I'm kind of picturing this like one of those proper interviews with like a serial killer or something like that, and they're like, he's got the mic on, and they've got the two chairs opposite each other, and it's like, all right, we're going to start now. You ready? You ready? And then they just jump into the interview, like one of those proper Hollywood interviews.
Yeah.
And just Bigfoot sitting there cross-legged, like, yes.
Yeah,
I had a tough childhood, yes.
In the director's chair with Bigfoot on the back.
You know what? I'll give it like an orange lip.
I'd like to know what you would call it.
I'll get back to you on that one.
No, that's
The Bigfoot tapes.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Big shoes to fill.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good because he can talk about how he's always going to live up to the Bigfoot name. He's like, sometimes I just don't feel like I'm that big. You know, sometimes I feel like Littlefoot, you know?
Oh, that's great.
Sometimes I just want to walk not behind the bushes, you know?
Sometimes I just want to go down to the coffee shop and have a latte.
Instead I have to drink swamp water, god damn it.
God damn, I'm sick of the swamp water.
Yeah, brilliant.
This next one, I think we're going to cut out because this next one is just half a line I've got.
Sounds promising.
Yeah,
a lady gets divorced and starts a building business. I didn't finish it.
That just sounds like the sad story of someone you met.
Yeah, I'm going to cut that one out.
And then next week a movie comes out with that very same premise.
I really want you to take this one back and work on it a little bit more.
Yeah.
I want to see what comes of this.
I'll get back to you next week on that
Beautiful.
one.
Done.
So, all right, next one. This film, this is a good one. The Bigfoot was all right, orange lit. This one will get green lit. It's about a guy that has a mental illness where he can't sit down when he eats. It's an actual illness. I looked it up the other day.
What's it called?
Bullshit. Really?
Yeah. I'll put it up on the website, but it's acophilia or something like that.
Yeah.
Basically, they can't.
Philia means to love something, so it wouldn't be that.
Okay. Acophobia.
Phobia is a fear, yeah.
Makes more sense. Anyway, this guy has a mental illness where he can't sit down when he eats, and the movie's about his struggle getting a date. Because a lot of dates you got to sit down.
Yeah, true.
And eat.
And eat, yeah. True.
And he can't.
Okay.
That's the story.
All right. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? He's never going to find love. He just needs to accept it. There's no film there.
Or
He's going to die alone.
No, he can take his dates to like the night market and get food and walk around.
Actually,
That
true.
way you can be nourished and have a love life.
But then, I mean,
He's got one flaws in this story.
He's just going to for the rest of his life, every time that he sees this woman, he's going to have to take her to night markets. Poor guy.
Or bowling, and then like when the other person's bowling, he's just standing there looking at him.
Eating a hot dog.
It's not that he can't sit down in general. He can't sit down when he eats. So
Okay.
really, yeah. All right.
I don't know, it's not that bad. I think you could adapt. If you've got an awesome personality, then I don't mind if you're standing and eating.
Yeah, true. You know what? I could get with a chick that can't sit down while she eats. As far as the weird things that I found in people that I personally dated, that one's not that bad. Let's face it.
That's the only thing wrong with him.
Yeah, I can deal with that. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Rejected.
Yeah.
So you know how they've done Cars and
Yep.
B movie. They've done Ants.
Yep.
Thought of another one.
with Jeremy Piven.
Yep.
Yep.
Thought of another one.
Okay. Yep.
Cigarettes for kids.
Wait, what?
So what happens?
Well, it's about how smoking isn't really bad. It's just that cigarettes are intelligent and they don't want to get killed. And so they've created this campaign to make it seem as though smoking's bad. So they stop dying.
So every time a cigarette's smoked, I always picture that as they've fulfilled their goal in life. Like, that's them.
They don't want it. They don't want
to get smoked.
No, they just want to hang out in the
Then
back.
why do they taste so fucking delicious?
Guys, if you need to quit, call Quitline.
Yeah.
Quitline. So,
okay.
I think that one is sending the wrong message to kids.
Yeah.
I don't think it would get approved.
Oh, God damn it.
But then they're going to go buy a bunch of cigarettes.
Yeah, and
just
then not smoke
them. But then
It's
still
great.
giving the tobacco companies money.
Sending the right message in the wrong way.
Yeah, true.
And then you need to make a movie about budgeting and...
Yeah.
It's too involved.
Next week, budgeting.
The movie.
All right, well, I'll work on that one pitch with the lady.
Done.
It's the best thing ever.
Okay, Rob. You've been very, very excited.
Yeah.
What's the best thing ever?
So I've been watching a lot of documentaries recently, and I've got two documentaries. One that I want to talk about a little bit. One that I want to talk about quite a bit.
Okay.
So the first one is, and I know I spoke to you about this a little bit, but it's the documentary about Sixto Rodriguez.
Yes.
I.e. Sugar Man.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Have either of you seen this documentary?
We were due to see it, but we never got around to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
We'll
I
have
want
to.
see it.
It's a really, really cool documentary. I really don't want to give it away because I just want to express, go and watch it. It is amazing. For someone like myself that really, really likes his music, it's required watching. You have to see it. I'm a big fan, especially Sugar Man. I think that's one of the most amazing songs ever. But There's the documentary set from the standpoint of people in South Africa where his music was incredibly popular.
Yeah.
And the basic premise is they believe that he's dead, killed himself on stage, and there's all these amazing stories about how he went about killing himself, and it's just these guys trying to track down more information.
Don't these people have Wikipedia?
Well, no. It's set, his music was very popular, I believe, during like 60s and 70s and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There was a lot of... the government was very, very big on they literally were scratching out single songs on the records so it couldn't be listened to. And Censorship, yeah. They were really big on just stopping people from expressing themselves, and his music was very much about uprising and fight the power and all that kind of stuff. And he was bigger than the Beatles, he was bigger than Elvis, he was bigger than the Doors and all that kind of stuff. And the interesting thing is he never knew that he was that big. And it's kind of sad, it's kind of terrible, and it's incredibly fascinating. So just you have to watch it. It's really, really, and it's a well-made documentary as well.
Cool.
The other thing I do want to talk about just quickly is Jinx, or the Jinx. Do you guys have any idea what I'm talking about?
No. What's this?
Oh my god, it is possibly the greatest thing ever. Probably the greatest thing ever. It's a documentary about Robert Durst, who's an extremely rich horrible man, let's say, that just killed a bunch of people and is still walking around today.
Is he related to Fred Durst?
Possibly. No,
Limp
he's
Bizkit?
definitely not. Either way,
he's related to Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, all of them.
Okay. Yeah.
They're all one happy family. They all live together, and there's going to be a documentary about them. Really interesting.
But it's good. What is it about? So it's a homicidal maniac.
So I'll give you the clip notes. Basically, he was apparently killed a bunch of people.
Yeah.
He got off for these murders, and then they made a movie.
He must have really enjoyed himself.
Well, yeah.
Whoa!
You don't kill someone if you don't enjoy it. But he didn't get convicted, so they made a movie about him and about the murders.
Yeah.
After the movie didn't paint a very pretty picture of him, he approached the filmmaker and said, I want to give an interview to give my side of the story.
Yeah.
So they've turned the interviews and the story into a 6-part story.
I love the 6-parters.
Now,
yeah,
you can't watch anything. Okay, you can't read up on it. You can't even go on fucking Google and type in his name.
So you got to go in
just
blind.
watch it. You have to go in blind. It's incredibly important because we've already missed what happened. Like there was a big hubbub that happened when it was airing. We've already missed that. So just go and watch it. Just watch it is all I'm going to say. That's it.
I love documentaries, so I'll give them a watch.
And 6 parts.
One of the best I've seen in a very long time. Like I was really, really enjoying it, and to see the face of evil, so good, really, really good. That's it.
I don't actually have any IMDb rating games, so I'm sorry.
I do.
What?
Yeah.
The girl to the rescue.
Again.
She's here when you need
her. So this game is where we basically will have a fictional title of a movie, and we'll have to say what the movie would have to be rated on IMDb for us to watch it.
And we also kind of we quiz as to what the movie could possibly be about.
What's the first one?
Well?
Alright, so the first one is called The Life of 3 Horses, and it stars Dennis Quaid and Susan Sarandon.
Okay, I like Susan Sarandon. Dennis Quaid, though. Not a fan. What's he ever done?
I can just imagine the cover. Just 3 horses, and then just like a half opaque Dennis Quaid's face.
Yeah.
And Susan Sarandon's face.
On the other side.
Yeah. And he's wearing a cowboy hat, but looking down.
Yes.
Like, good one. Without a doubt. I can see it.
I wouldn't watch it.
I wouldn't watch that for shit. No, definitely not.
It'd have to be a good 8 rating or above for me to even consider it.
Yeah, without a doubt.
You agree?
8-3.
Okay. The next one is called My Happiest Birthday, and it stars the lovely Amanda Bynes.
Ooh.
Oh, what year was it made?
It was made in 2002.
2002. Oh, so that's early Bynes.
That's like peak Bynes.
That's peak Bynes.
Classic Bynesy.
Poor Bynes.
Okay, what would give us a rough outline? What's she doing in this film? What's going on?
You know what? That movie just sounds like one of those kids' movies where it's like the cover is a birthday cake and just like Amanda Bynes standing there cross-armed going,
everything went wrong on my birthday.
Yeah, she's having a huff. Yeah.
And even though it was made in the peak Bynes years,
peak Bynesy,
peak Bynesy,
classic Bynesy.
It would have to be rated. It would have to be in the top 250, rated above 8 for me to watch it.
Yeah. Even then, I'd probably rent it for my sister and still not watch it. Like that's the kind of thing that she would get into, not me.
Yeah, I have a feeling you'll never need to see it.
Yeah, because she's dead now, isn't she? She's robbing 7-Elevens for coke money. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I think she's transformed into some kind of alien. She's like 50% metal and hair extensions. Okay, so the next one is called Frog Legs and Bow Ties. And it stars your boy Kanye and your girl Willow Smith.
Willow Smith. Oh, she's not my girl. Fucking hell. Okay.
Why Willow Smith?
I'm picturing that
because
frog.
Will Smith can't do it anymore.
See, if that movie title was Bill Murray, I would see it instantly.
Oh, but you'd see anything with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
He's a beautiful man.
Have you guys heard the story that he apparently, like, the only way he gets movies is he's got a voicemail box, like a message bank?
He's so old school.
Yeah, that, like, people call up and, like, hey, I've got a movie for you. And he'll, if he catches it in time, and apparently he's lost big roles because he hasn't got to it in time, they've cast someone else. And he's, I just think that's whether it's true or not. He's such a good guy.
I wouldn't watch that movie, but if I had to put a number down, Kanye West and Willow Smith, that would be bad, wouldn't it?
It's just a massive ego battle, right?
Yeah.
Right, it'd have to be 9.2 for me. Like the top of the top.
Yeah, it would have to be the greatest movie of all time. Like, basically, the greatest film ever.
But it's got Kanye in it, so it has to be.
Yeah, true, because he's a lyrical genius. Apparently, wasn't he on some rant recently talking about how he's like the Da Vinci of our time?
He says a lot of shit.
Yeah, he does, but apparently this is like not just a lyric to his song. Like he was in an interview and he's like,
he truly believes he's like.
That's the problem with him, is that it's all bravado for a lot of rappers. He's just like, no, I actually am.
Yeah,
the world's best person.
Yeah, just the world would be fine if it was just me on it, and that's his dream, isn't it? All right, so the last one's called Hot Dogs, Get Your Hot Dogs.
I like hot dogs.
It's not that title. I like that title.
And it's starring Steve Buscemi.
Oh, okay. He's got a lot of teeth, that guy. His teeth are aggressively big.
And he's so great.
Wait, what year? Are we talking peak Bynes years, or are we going earlier?
Classic Bynes.
Peak Bynes years?
Yeah, how early is this going? Because if it's early Buscemi, you could imagine the cover, him at a hot dog stand, like a struggling guy, struggling to run his business, and a big Wall Street executive, decides that he's going to help this guy out, and it lets him open up a big hot dog chain.
Okay,
That's inspirational.
I was thinking a different way. I was like, he's got his corner where he's got his hot dog stand, and the big guy's trying to like shut his hot dog stand down, because he's going to renovate the building or something. Why he needs to shut down the hot dog stand, I don't know.
Because it's in the way.
It's in the way, and Wall Street guys don't care. They'll just shut you down. They don't give a shit. So they're going to shut him down, and he's like, "No, I'm going to fight for my hot dogs."
I'm going to shut this film down. I'm not going to say it.
Okay, yeah, it sounds kind of horrible.
I'll go an 8.5 on that as well.
Does anyone really want to see Steve Buscemi eat a hot dog?
He doesn't eat them. He's allergic.
Okay, I'm in. I'm back in. I would watch that at about a 7.5.
Okay.
I'm in.
Good work, Bushem.
Is that your like little nickname for him?
Any more?
No, that's it. That's it, guys. Well done. You won the game.
Yay!
You don't have to see any.
And that about wraps it up. I think we should wrap it up. What do you reckon?
I reckon we wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up like a burrito.
Wrap it up like a hot dog.
I feel like a burrito.
So if you've enjoyed this podcast, jump on iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. If you didn't like it, then you probably won't be listening, but don't rate it.
Yeah.
You can get on the... Join us...
You can get on the...
You can join our community on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Our handle is @haircutbeard.
Yeah, we're pretty active in the Facebook community. And if you say something, we'll probably say something back.
Yeah.
Yay, conversation.
You can email us at haircutofthebeard@gmail.com. That's all spelt out. Or you can send us snail mail or just approach us in the street randomly. I'll be the guy with the haircut and Rob will be the guy with the beard. And the girl is a girl.
Yep.
The only one. But do send us some letters because we'll read them out. We'll have a chat.
Yeah.
Get involved.
Get involved. Get active.
And thanks for joining us. My name is Vader, aka Haircut, and I'd like to thank my co-host Rob the Beard Brown.
It's been a pleasure.
And of course our special guest, the girl.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Alright, ciao guys.
See
Have
ya.
a good one.
Bye. Let's get the real